Riverfest in June is now underway with an opening celebration. Get ready for a variety of music from Chris Stapleton to George Clinton. And of course, all eyes are on the weather. Good evening. I'm Denise Middleton here with Meredith Mitchell in for Ed tonight. Big weekend ahead. How's the weather shaping up?
Yeah, tonight we saw the
Speculation about Muhammad Ali's illness is growing tonight. The boxing legend has been in the hospital since yesterday fighting a respiratory problem. He's listed in fair condition, but some familiar with his condition say he may be battling more serious problems. The 74-year-old has been battling Parkinson's disease since the 1980s. The state medical board says it will discuss the future of a Conway doctor charged with sexual assault. Police say the family practice doctor is being accused of assaulting several patients. THV 11's Caitlin Gardenhire has details. Caitlin Gardenhire reporting there. Now, Rook is out on $225,000 bond. He's expected to be in court July 5th. Meantime, a retired Lake Hamilton Middle School principal is expected in court later this month on sexual assault and indecency charges. 60-year-old Lester Curry is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old student. Curry retired as a principal at the end of this past school year. The trial is delayed for a Garland County Circuit judge accused of leaving his son in a hot car. The prosecutor asked for a 9-week delay. Attorneys for Judge Wade Naramore did not want the June 14th trial to be delayed. Naramore is charged with negligent homicide in the death of his 18-month-old son, Thomas. He died from excessive heat last summer. Police say they do not suspect foul play in the disappearance of a Little Rock cab driver. Officers found his abandoned cab in Memphis earlier this week. Both Little Rock and Memphis police say they now know where he's headed, but they don't believe he's in any danger. The bodies of 4 soldiers who were swept away in a rain-swollen creek at Fort Hood, Texas, have now been found. A total of 9 soldiers died after their troop truck overturned yesterday on base. 3 others were hurt. The Arkansas National Guard released a statement about the hundreds of local soldiers currently stationed at Fort Hood. Our condolences go out to the families and those involved in the tragedy at Fort Hood yesterday. Thankfully, none of our Arkansas National Guard soldiers were involved in the incident. Well, Texas Governor Greg Abbott urging people to pay attention to evacuation orders. While much of the flooding has been concentrated around southern Texas, Lake Granbury near Fort Worth is creating some concern tonight. Jim Douglas with our sister station in Dallas has more. Meantime, a team of Arkansans are helping Texans dealing with flooding. A Red Cross mobile team left Little Rock today to join 3 other teams deployed earlier this week. Officials estimate nearly 6,000 homes may be affected by high water. If you'd like to donate to relief efforts, you can visit redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. You can also text the word TX Floods to 90999 to make a $10 donation. Well, a new wave of scams is hitting the Little Rock area. Tonight, a recent victim is sharing his story so you and your loved ones don't get conned. THV 11's David Lipman has details. 11 listens tonight after we received reports of horses possibly being neglected in White County.
Have a rescue clinic come out and take the horses to a good home or somewhere away from this area. Because think about it, even in the winter, they don't have no shelter. They're out there freezing.
David Henley says he noticed there was a problem with the horses when one of them got out. He says the horse was eating grass from other people's yards because there was none left in their corral. The White County Sheriff's Office says they have an ongoing investigation, but because the investigation is open, they could not comment. Henley says he thinks the owners should be ticketed or fined and the horses rescued. The owners say they're expanding the corral for the horses and have a local vet checking up regularly on their health. Well, Hot Springs Tourism Agency tells its workers to avoid Highway 70 after an increase in deadly traffic accidents. Steve Arison with Visit Hot Springs says US 270 and Interstate 30 provide a safer route to areas like Benton, Bryant, and Little Rock. A dozen people were killed in a 19-mile stretch on Highway 70 last year. Another was killed in a wreck just last Saturday. Well, lots of music going on in the natural state this weekend, and it's not all at Riverfest. We'll show you how the Walmart shareholders meeting is the place to see celebrities coming up later. And here's a live look from the River Market, which will be filled with music lovers tomorrow. Meredith will take a look at your Riverfest forecast next. All right, Riverfest weekend has officially arrived, and this year's event is not only on a different weekend, it's also more of a grown-up affair with a focus on music. Well, acts include George Clinton, Chris Stapleton, and the Flaming Lips, and the music gets underway tomorrow afternoon. Even though this year's event is more of a grown-up affair, there will still be fun things for all the kids, all ages. There are rides, carnival games, and food trucks. All right, what's your least favorite color? It may not be anywhere near the world's ugliest color. Plus, Northwest Arkansas becomes Hollywood as Walmart's annual shareholders meeting attracts the stars. All right, where do we get tickets?
You know, I remember
on.
being in summer.
Well, according to researchers, they are all nicknames for the world's ugliest color. Pantone 448C, also referred to as opaque couche, is the color that experts say minimizes appeal and maximizes perceived harm.
Yeah, but it's precisely this displeasing hue that's actually serving a public health purpose. Research agencies chose the color to try to keep people from smoking.
Okay, 7 studies show that smokers found this shade of green-brown to be the most unappealing when used with graphic health warnings on cartoons. I actually think it's okay, but never mind.
It looks like kind of a camouflage color.
Yeah, okay, well, other colors considered ugly: lime green, white, beige, dark gray, and mustard.
I can see the mustard.
Yeah, me too.
A little bit.
Well, if you haven't gotten your free donut on National Donut Day, there's still time. But as happy as a free sugary donut will make you, there's an even sweeter story behind it.
During World War I, women in the Salvation Army would deliver those pastries to U.S. soldiers on the battlefront. The Chicago Salvation Army created National Donut Day to honor these women, called Donut Lassies, and help raise funds for the nonprofit organization.
Oh, that's one way to stay in shape. Eating donuts.
Donut Lassies.
Well, the Arkansas football team is renewing an old rivalry.